on behalf of the California Emerging Technology Fund and School2Home, it is a great honor to welcome you to our Leadership Academy. We are once again joined by all of our school teams who consist of great committed teachers, administrators, partner districts that are going above and beyond day in and day out, not only to support the needs of students and their families, but more so under these very stressful circumstances. I want to take a few moments to acknowledge our dedicated board members that are closely collaborating with School2Home, starting with our treasurer, Mr. Rich Mata, our secretary, Ms. Renee Martinez, and one of the newest members of our board, Dr. Francis Gibson. We're very excited to be working with you. We're very excited to support you, and we hope that you enjoy the program.
The entire country, our entire state has now recognized the imperative to close the digital divide. It is a 21st century civil right. Infrastructure investment is very, very important. It's essential, necessary, but not sufficient. What matters is actually getting people to be able to use the technology, harness the power of technology to improve lives, and that begins in the classroom.
The most innovation in education, probably that any of us are going to see in our lifetimes, are going to happen in the next couple of years, this year and next year. And they're going to set the direction of where we go for, at least 2 decades in the future, and, maybe much longer. And so it's a fun time because we're at this transition, right? We're right kind of between these two, the like spaghetti chaos mess, and something that is different from what we were before. It's an improvement from what we were before, but it's building on the conditions that were set by the disruption to create something really, really amazing and different.
In the U.S. Department of Education's COVID-19 guidance, our handbook volume 2, our office noted that English learners, students of color, rural and low-income students not only have less access to internet and devices compared to their peers, they have less access to high-quality technology-enabled learning experiences. And research shows time and time again that this gap translates to a range of outcomes like lower digital literacy, lower homework completion rates, lower GPA, lower college completion. So it follows them throughout their lifetime. So I really, really applaud all your efforts around digital equity to make sure that technology can be regularly and effectively leveraged as a tool to accelerate learning.
As coaches, we need to ditch that desk, ditch that office, get out and about, be in classrooms as much as possible, and see teaching and learning in their natural environment.
We learned that it is much more effective when we are in the habitat of those we serve. So we are in classrooms, we are in PLCs, we are walking around where learning is happening. During distance learning, we would drop in on the virtual sessions, the virtual classrooms.
We also saw a lot of data-informed learning going on in the teaching and learning practices. We saw parents as learning partners in ways we've not seen before. The surveys suggest, both from teachers and parents, that there were more frequent and interactive communications with parents. And we also saw teachers involving parents in some of the lesson design, that the reclassification of English learners was higher in partner schools percentage-wise than statewide. And in fact, the data shows that on average, the partner schools actually reclassified about an average of 20 students last year, whereas the statewide average was about 10.
I really see the importance of equitable access. We did a lot of interviews and focus groups with students, and we surveyed parents and teachers, and access is still an issue. Access to both hardware, although there's been an amazing, move forward this past year, but connectivity has been a real issue. And so I'm delighted with the new Infrastructure Act and knowing that we're going to all move towards better connectivity for schools and for homes. The second major element before any of this can happen is really appropriate content. There's been such an explosion over the past 25 years. I mean, I'm so old, I go back to the early days of technology, and now everything is web-based. It's all online, and it's got to be challenging for a lot of teachers to select the content. And then the third element, which is absolutely essential, is prepared teachers. And I think that's what School2Home is all about. It's about also ensuring that teachers are well prepared, and that's really critical. So it's these three elements that are essential before you can really do effective digital-based instruction or online learning.
And school is never going to be what it was. And that's probably a good thing when you think about it, because while we lost some good things, we also lost some very bad things. And there's an opportunity for us to rethink how to think about schooling, how to think about accountability, but also how to think about school planning. What are the types of digital learning experiences that are worth retaining? How can we incorporate those experiences and activities into our programs?
I want to reinforce with all of you that, I know that you're focusing on technology, you're focusing on process, but don't forget the people, the families that you are working with. You are very critical to their future. And what you're doing every day is providing them with help and support that will ultimately change the direction of them as individuals, and even on a larger scale, their families. So I applaud your efforts. You are making a difference. And I know because teachers like you made a difference in my life. Thank you.
We really, really appreciate your participation and taking the time to join us. So thank you very much.